The angry video game nerd is undeniably a legend of the internet. While I haven't kept up with the material as much since James Rolfe's partnership with Screenwave Media, I have binged many of his classic videos countless times, including Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Do not play this game.
Friday the 13th.
Like puke up a donkey's ass.
And of course, Simon's Quest.
This game sucks.
I found the nerd's blend of indie budget video production and childish humor to be right up my alley, even though Rolling Rock Beer sucks and always will suck. I know a lot of people have called for Rolfe to hang it up in the last few years, but honestly, how many people get to do what they love in such a capacity for what, over 2 decades now? With such success, it was natural that Angry Video Game Nerd would branch off into video games of his own, and there have been at least a few. There was 2013's Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, a 2016 sequel, and even a remastered version of both games. But the nerd's not done yet, as today we are reviewing Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit, a classic Nintendo-style throwback title in the style of old-school Mega Man. But is Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit a fuckload of fun? Or is the game total Let's find out in our full review. But real quick, the gaming echo chamber is churning out AI-generated content and it sucks donkey balls. Fight back by heading over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames and you'll gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community. Enjoy early ad-free shows, get a shout out at the end of every video we produce, our podcast 3 days early, but best of all, you're supporting indie visibility. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit both looks and plays very much like a classic action platformer on the NES, Mega Man in particular. The game is broken up into 6 boss stages, all based off of classic foes within the nerd universe. You'll need to carefully platform and blast your way through each stage, dealing with respawning enemies and perilous traps just as you would expect, all in an effort to defeat each stage's end boss en route to stopping Super Mega Death Christ, or whatever he's called. Let's get the obvious out of the way, this game is balls to the wall hard. That is, if you choose for it to be. There are 3 difficulty options to pick from, which range from far too easy to hard to forget about it. While there is what the game refers to as normal available, it will kick your ass just as hard as any other retro NES game did, with one-hit death spikes, brutally cheap enemy patterns, and difficult bosses. Oh, and while there are checkpoints through levels, should you run out of lives, yep, it's time to do it all again. Thankfully for the era it's attempting to emulate, the game does an outstanding job. Controls feel as they should, power-ups for your gun give you a fighting chance, and secondary weapons further help to even the odds ever so slightly, such as bottles that can be tossed or a strange pickle that will do some of the fighting for you. I didn't love losing my gun power-ups for taking hits of damage, but hey, this is an old-school challenge, I get it. Each level contains a fun theme calling back to NES classics like Simon's Quest and Ghosts and Goblins. Of course, the entire package is draped in the nerd's signature humor, even going as far as to include 4K video cutscenes and his signature quips, such as ass whenever you take a death. Heck, even your health bar appears to be a rolling rock, minus the actual branding, of course. Much like the rest of the game, the visuals and audio are spot on for the chosen era. The pixel art looks lovely with some great creative creature designs, the levels themselves are varied and interesting, and the soundtrack, while not overly infectious, fits the vibe quite well. Same can be said for the sound effects, which are nice and crunchy, just as you would hope. All of that said, your enjoyment of this release hinges solely on your tolerance for the genre and the nerd's immature brand of humor. If you didn't like classic Mega Man-style gameplay before, you won't like it here. It's also a bit odd that defeating foes doesn't net you a new ability as it did in classic Mega Man, which I thought would have been a nice touch. Collecting upgrades to improve your gun just isn't quite the same. Ultimately, it felt like I could go in any level order I wished without needing to strategize, though some areas are more savage than others. The F-14 Tomcat stage, for example, which has you bouncing between platforms, can feel pretty infuriating, while the Devil level was certainly more manageable in comparison. Made it to the last boss on anything other than the easy setting? Well, I wish you the best of luck. Of course, this is the exact kind of challenge you should expect when purchasing an Angry Video Game Nerd release. Performance-wise, I never came across a single issue during my time playing, and the game runs great on Steam Deck too, making it a welcome on-the-go experience. There are a few display mode options available and a couple of filters, but not much else to be concerned with. So, all told, Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit is a great tribute to retro Nintendo games. It looks the part, plays really great, and offers a brutally difficult challenge that will test your limits. If you're a fan of the nerd, that's just another reason to dive in. Not a game that will change your mind if you already aren't into old-school gaming experiences, but for everyone else, even non-fans of Rolfe alike, Check it out. Here at I Dream of Indie Games, we do believe that games are so much more than a number. That's why we have our Genie Lamp tier system. The dreaded Indie Krampus is the one you definitely want to avoid, but we go all the way up to the elusive Gold and Genie Lamp of approval for those essential releases. And with all of that said, I am going to award Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit the Silver Genie Lamp of approval. Not too bad, not ass at all.